Hi students, and welcome back. I thought that it would be easier if I split up the videos to two shorter videos. So we're going to continue on with our Applying Your Skills case study 5.2 and 5.3 in this video. So we have gone ahead and done our 5.1. 5.2 then, case study 5.2 is coding anesthesia and surgery procedures. So the same kind of thing here, and it's kind of, you have to try different things. Either use your links down below by browsing our codes through the CPT, or, sometimes it does work to use keywords. So you'll have to try what comes up best for you for results. So I have gone ahead and put in the CPT and browsed codes. Here are the links. So we're going to do anesthesia and surgery. This is a specific area in our CPT book, and you'll see that there are two links for it. One is for anesthesia and one is for surgery, because every surgery, if there's anesthesia, that is coded and billed separately. You have a separate charge and code for whatever anesthesia might be used. For letter A of 5.2, anesthesia for vaginal delivery only. We're going to expand our anesthesia area here, and we'll see different links, and you'll see that the anesthesia is kind of separated out into what body part or specialty. And as you scroll through, you might think perineum or pelvis and kind of going through, but read them all because you see obstetrics down here. And we know having a baby has to do with obstetrics. So we're going to click on that link. And comes up with several different ones here for anesthesia with different things to do with having a baby, a delivery. And right away up at the top, our second one here, you'll see 01960, anesthesia for vaginal delivery only. Well, that's exactly what our information is asking for us to code, right? So we know that 01960 is the code for the anesthesia for a vaginal delivery. All right, moving along, let's look at letter B. Letter B is anesthesia services for a patient age 76, healthy, for an open procedure on the wrist. All right, let's go back. We could just go back. That'll take us back to our, all right, not going to work. CPT, browse our codes. And we want anesthesia again, so let's expand that. And this one is for a procedure that was done on the wrist. So as we kind of scroll through here, we'll see, again, our body parts. And we'll see wrist procedures, forearm, wrist, and hand. So we're going to click on that. And so there are several here that kind of show up again. And for this one, it's an open procedure on the wrist. And as we kind of look through, which one's diagnostic, arthroscopy, it doesn't say arthroscopy. In fact, it says that it's open. Look at 01820 is closed procedures. Well, it wasn't closed. It's an open procedure. So as we scroll through and we look at 01830, anesthesia for open or surgical, arthroscopic, endoscopic procedures on the distal radius, ulnar, wrist, hand joints, otherwise not specified. For open or surgical arthroscopic, well, this is open, and if we click on it, this is the correct one right here. Not other specified would be if there's other things that are specifically pointed out in our information. Let me show you this. I'm going to just click on related codes if we're not quite sure. Look at the next one here, and it says for open, it's exactly the same thing, except the very end says total wrist replacement. Well, ours doesn't say anything about a total wrist replacement. It's not specified. So 01830 is the correct code for letter B on case 5.2. Letter C, incision and drainage of infected wound after surgery. So let's go back to our CPT. And when I did this one, it was a little harder. So we're actually doing like a surgery, right? Although it's not really surgery. It's incision and drainage after surgery, so post-surgery. For this one, I'm going to just try a keyword. Incision, drainage, and see what happens. All right. There are quite a few things that have come up here. I'm going to try one other thing. I'm going to do post-operative and see if that comes up with something. Okay, it did. So after surgery or after a procedure, you know, that means post-operative. So here's where sometimes you got to think about your medical language to zero in on something. So here is a code 0180, and that is correct. It's incision and draining post-operative wound infection. That is the correct code. If you weren't sure, you would maybe have to read through the list of incision and drainage, until you get to one that zeroes in more if you're not quite sure. All right, letter D, destruction of a flat wart. This one too, I'm going to just try a keyword. Now, notice the word wart. Let's just keyword it here. Wart comes up with nothing, probably because wart is there's another terminology word, another medical word for wart. That's too layman's term. So if we're not quite sure, well, let's try something else. I'm just going to try destruction and see what happens. All right, so we get quite a few destructions of different lesions and different keywords here. There's different ones here of proliferative lesions. Well, that kind of sounds like it, right? And then they're lasers. Well, I'm not quite sure. Shows different, how big something would be. Sometimes if we're not really sure, we're not really seeing, some of these are specific lesions on specific areas. This is a wart. And wart is kind of a cutaneous kind of lesion. I'm just going to click on one of these and read about it. It really doesn't say more, but I'm going to check some related codes. And sometimes clicking on relating codes give you more specific things that are closer to it. And that's the case here. As you look through, the right one, the actual correct code is 17110. Destruction, it doesn't say how, our information doesn't say how, but it could be all these examples of benign lesions other than a skin tag or cutaneous vascular proliferative lesions. This is the correct code. Okay, the other one had a specific size. We didn't know that. So if you kind of dig in a little bit more, sometimes, like I said, clicking that view related codes will give you more information because our original list didn't actually give us that. Okay, so that's letter D. Case 5.3 has us looking up radiology, pathology, and laboratory and or medical procedures, medicine procedures. So let's look at that. We're going to get back to our CPT, our main area here, browse our codes. All right, so this one we have radiology procedures, pathology and lab, medicine services and procedures. Not always cut and dry which link this is. So you might try some keywords here to see what works. And these are a little more zeroed down than those evaluation and management. Those ones were a little harder to come up with keywords. So again, kind of a combination. All right, letter A, subcutaneous chemotherapy administration. And again, I'm on case 5.3, subcutaneous chemotherapy administration. Well, I'm going to try some keywords. Subcutaneous chemotherapy. And note that sometimes just one or two keywords will come up with more responses than trying to put in too many. All right, so right away we have 3 that comes up with that. And for this one, chemotherapy subcutaneous. It's the first one, right? Chemotherapy administration subcutaneous. That's all the information we have. We don't know, I mean, we can't go into all this other stuff we don't know. It doesn't say it's non-hormonal or anti-neoplastic. It's chemotherapy. It's administered subcutaneously. 96401 is the correct code. We can look at it again if we want. Okay, but that is the correct code for letter A in case 5.3. Letter B then. Material, sterile tray supplied by the physician. So this is a tray of instruments that are sterilized. Okay, so it's kind of supplies, supplied by the physician. And so for this one, you know, it's kind of hard to know what to do with this. You know, we could try different things. When we look at our codes here, nothing really stands out, you know, as far as what area this supplied sterile tray could be under. I'm going to try some keywords. If I do sterile tray, let's see what happens. No results. I'm going to back it off a bit and just try tray. All right. Supplies and materials provided by the physician, usually included with the office visit. Listed drugs, trays, supplies. Okay, so this is it, right? 99070. So you see, in this instance, I just really went very simple with my search, tray, and it came up. So try those different things. So 99070 is the correct answer for letter B on case 5.3. All right, I want everybody to have a fun time looking up CPT codes. It's investigative work, it's detailed work, and you can see why the medical coders have a specific whole year certificate if they go full time and degree after this. This is, you know, to learn how to look up all of these codes and get really good at this information. All right, well, have a great week, everyone.